Thank you very much. Oh. Oh dear. Right, this is the Emirates Airlines, which crosses the Thames at Greenwich. And it strikes me that most of the aviation records in the world were done long in the past. Crossing the Channel, crossing the Atlantic, flying around the world, breaking the sound barrier. But how about crossing the Thames? I mean, obviously it's been done. London City Airport's just sort of over to the right as we're looking at the moment, and aircraft there do it every day, but has anyone ever claimed it? That is the question. I mean, is it being first or is it claiming first? I mean, the Vikings were allegedly the first people from Europe to to go to America. The locals probably were aware it was there already. So is it just down to the claim? I mean, you know, can I just dive in a sec and say, hey, you know, Guinness Book of Records, here I am? I don't know. It's going to cost me £4 for a one-way trip, which I paid on a contactless card. I believe it costs more if you don't use a contactless card. So I think most people have them, certainly in Europe. I'm not sure if it's so common in America though. But you can use an Oyster card if you're over on holiday and you've got one of those. I've only been over here once before, which was a long time ago, and it was a little bit windy, which made it a little bit exciting because these cars are quite light. I get my own car because it's already kind of a COVID thing, so there's just me in here. You'll see some more things in a minute. So basically the Thames is there, downstream is to the right, so through there, and you should be able to see the Thames flood barrier there. Somebody's doing an extreme selfie. If I hold it there for a sec. If you look ahead, can you just, you know, it's that high. That's where we're going. There's just a piece of artwork down there. I'll move around a bit and that might bounce it around a bit. So, but it's been going for a lot of years. So whether it's actually making any money, I don't know. But it was quite a queue to get on it. So, what time is it now? It is coming up to 3:30. So, should I come round behind? So the car rocks and rolls a bit. There we go, that's sort of heading south. I don't know if you can see that mast in the distance, but that's Alexandra Palace. But if I try and hold it level, you can get an idea of how steep it is coming up here. Again. The trouble with the sort of centre of London is it's always very tempting to see north and south as being either side of the river and east and west as being up and down, but certainly, especially sort of in East London, the Thames sort of bounces around so much, it's harder to tell. Oh, there's an Uber boat down there, which is actually just branding. It's a Thames Clipper boat, really. But oh, that's quite nice. Everybody heading towards us. We stress test the ropes. Right, so over this way. There we go. That's the O2, what used to be the Millennium Dome at Greenwich, which is heavily maligned. But I actually went round there maybe 7 months into the Millennium, and it was really good. But I think the problem was on the opening night, they didn't treat all the press bigwigs like they were royalty, and they just were very rude about it for the rest of the year. But I went around there on the Millennium, loved it. Okay, that's Canary Wharf over there, all the tall buildings, which are actually on the other side of the river because it's the Greenwich Peninsula because it sticks out. As you can see, actually, if you look out the back, because you can see the river going round. There you go. You can even possibly see that Thames Clipper. Oh, that's scooting past us now. I enjoy the view myself while I'm up here. What else can you see? Oh, there's the XL Centre over there, the stuff with all the white metalwork. That's a sort of big exhibition centre. And was a COVID hospital. Oh, and there's a cruise ship, or no, it's a little cruise ship there, or maybe it's a big super yacht. But it was one of the Nightingale hospitals, which didn't get much use for COVID. But it's usually an exhibition centre. Don't ask me what they're building down there. Not my specialist subject. Let's come around here again. So, well, I'm definitely flying up in the air, aren't I? So, I think that Guinness Book should definitely be right in on this. Maybe. So the sun's sort of gradually going down because, you know, it's only February, so it's still fairly low. Don't know if you can. I don't know if the stabilisation's taken out the sort of side-to-side movement you've got, which is sort of, I don't know, if I just stand here, presumably, will it be able to see it against the horizon? It's very little. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't worry me at all. So if you want to look down, it's quite a long way down. There's really nothing coming up the river here that isn't going to quite happily go underneath this. You could even get a tall ship like the Cutty's Ark up here quite easily. Oh, if you look down there, the red things are Docklands Light Railway train. They're well worth a ride because they're usually driverless. I mean, you can have manual control, but usually, if you're lucky, you can sit right up the front, looking out the front window as you drive along, which is quite fun. I'm still kind of torn about that. It's probably a super yacht. So, we should get to see the Olympic Park from up here. I'm struggling at the moment. Oh, also London City Airport, which is over there. I was kind of hoping somebody would take off, but just bear with me while we go under this. Start to fall, but yeah, because the jets have been going over fairly regularly while I've been walking up to this. Oh, there's a messy bit of window there. I don't think I'll go outside and clean the glass. Oh, this is all Docklands down here, which has all been sort of redeveloped, and they've just left these sort of cranes there as sort of historical and artistic reasons. But no jets, I'm afraid, so sorry about that. I don't get any control. But I quite like the sort of, you know, the way the sun's sort of going behind the clouds and the lighting. Don't know what it's going to look like, but hopefully it'll look good. Just see them whizzing past. Actually, that's a better shot of the dome, isn't it, from here? And if you can see the Canary Wharf, which is across the river from the dome, and then to the right of that, there's the City of London in the distance, which is slightly hazy because it's a slightly hazy day, but it's not bad. I mean, I don't know why it's beeping, but unfortunately this lens is too wide angle for you to see the mast at Alexandra Palace. It's a famous early radio mast and TV. Let's see. The tube trains are still underground here, so you don't get to see those. But there's another DLR train going who knows where, because the line Y's about here. Stops and oh, that's just another DLR train behind us on the line behind us. So there we go. It's me flying across the River Thames. Ooh, there's a bit of a tilt there as you went over that. So, because I was leaning forwards, I sort of felt my knees against the seat. I mean, you know, it's sort of very straightforward inside one of these things. It's kind of seating you'd find on a bus or a tube. It doesn't take very long, as you can probably tell. So, actually, no, it has, because this has been running about 9 minutes. I started it just before I got on, so it's probably going to be a 10-minute crossing. I guess less. Oh, and in this sort of dock here, or former dock, that's where they did the F1 powerboat racing when it came to London. So, and I was up on that bridge over there, if you can see the high bridge across the middle, and getting some really good photographs from up there. Because I think it was sort of some kind of special ticketed invitation thing for the race, but the practice, you could just roll up and take photographs. It was really cool. It's one of those things that I sort of ran across semi-accidentally. There's a lot of that in London. You can just be walking along and find something. And obviously I didn't just walk, well, I did just walk along and think, oh, I'll cross the river on the cable car. But yeah, there's just all sorts of things. Often people giving out free stuff, which can be fun. Sometimes not so much. You see, sorry, why would I want that? It's going to be a bit bumpy here. I don't know if the stabilisation will handle it okay. And the doors open and shut automatically, so when I got in, I didn't have to close the door or something, and nobody did anything. And again, the doors sort of was shut, and there you go. Just when you get to this point, it just automatically does it. And I think they'd rather like me to exit the vehicle sometime quite about now. So there you go. And there you are, crossing the Thames by the Emirates airline.